In the early 1980s, Dubai had no legacy airline. It wasn't a tourism hotspot. It wasn't a financial capital. And it certainly wasn't known for aviation. But just a few decades later, Emirates, an airline that didn't even exist at the time, would become one of the most ambitious, recognizable, and dominant carriers on Earth. It would carry millions of passengers, operate the world's biggest aircraft, and turn a small Gulf city into the busiest international airport on the planet. So, how did Emirates go from 2 borrowed planes to global dominance? The answer lies in geography, timing, bold strategy, and decisions that, back then, felt either too risky or far too radical. Let's break it down. Back in 1985, Gulf Air, the regional carrier jointly owned by several Gulf nations, decided to scale back flights to Dubai. For most cities, this wouldn't have been a crisis. But Dubai had bigger plans. Its leadership knew that if they wanted to attract global trade, tourism, and finance, they needed something more than oil. They needed connectivity. So, they built their own airline. Emirates was born. It started with $10 million in seed funding, and one uncompromising rule: the airline must be financially independent. No subsidies, no bailouts. Succeed or fail on its own. Emirates leased its first 2 aircraft from Pakistan International Airlines, borrowed pilots, borrowed crew. And on October 25, 1985, it took off. No domestic routes, no brand recognition, no loyal customers. But it had one thing: a plan on the map. Dubai doesn't scream global aviation hub, but zoom out, and the magic becomes clear. Dubai sits almost exactly between Europe, Asia, and Africa. In fact, 2/3 of the world's population lives within 8 hours of flying time. That wasn't a coincidence. It became the foundation of Emirates' entire strategy. Instead of flying direct routes city to city, Emirates created a hub-and-spoke model at an international scale. Passengers from all over the world were brought into Dubai, then flown onward to their final destinations. No airport curfews, 24/7 operations, an open skies policy welcoming foreign carriers. Dubai became the perfect connector. This wasn't just clever. It was mathematical advantage, turned into global dominance. The hub model only works if you can fill seats. A lot of seats. And Emirates made a move most airlines wouldn't dare. Go big, stay consistent. Emirates became the largest operator of the Airbus A380, a double-decker giant that could carry over 850 passengers in an all-economy layout, or over 500 in a 3-class configuration. Then came the Boeing 777s, hundreds of them, efficient, scalable, easy to maintain. Emirates didn't just buy planes, it invested long-term, placing aircraft orders worth over $150 billion. It was a launch customer for both the Boeing 777X and Airbus A350. By focusing on just a few aircraft types, Emirates simplified training, maintenance, and scheduling. And since every flight routed through Dubai, even the biggest planes stayed full. That created economies of scale. Fewer aircraft types, bigger capacity, lower cost per seat, bold in theory, brilliant in execution, and the results speak. 1985, 260,000 passengers. 2000, 8 million. 2010, 31 million. 2019, 56.2 million. 2022 to 23, 43.6 million post-COVID rebound. Offering world-class service on giant aircraft sounds expensive. But Emirates, it consistently maintains some of the lowest unit costs in the industry. How? 3 words: labor, fuel, fleet. First, labor. Unlike most legacy carriers, Emirates operates without labor unions. Its staff, hired from over 160 countries, usually on fixed-term contracts with housing and tax-free salaries. That means lower overhead and more flexibility. Labor costs account for just 13% of revenue, nearly half of what some traditional airlines pay. Second, fuel. Emirates hedges fuel prices, locking in long-term deals to avoid volatility, and being based in an oil-producing region helps. Third, fleet efficiency. By keeping its aircraft young and standardized, Emirates saves on fuel burn, repairs, and delays. The result? Cost per seat kilometer? Approximately $0.05 to $0.06. Average fleet age, 8 to 10 years. Load factor, approximately 77% pre-COVID. So even with luxury service and premium lounges, Emirates runs closer to a low-cost carrier, but with a far better product. Emirates didn't just sell flights, It sold experience. From the start, it focused on making the passenger journey unforgettable. First to offer seat-back entertainment in every cabin. Then came first-class private suites, onboard bars and lounges, even showers at 40,000 feet. But experience isn't just service, it's storytelling. Emirates marketed itself aggressively, sponsoring Real Madrid, Arsenal, Formula One, cricket, tennis, even Hollywood blockbusters. Fly Emirates wasn't just a slogan, it became a global symbol. Its Skywards loyalty program sealed the deal. Over 30 million members with partnerships across Visa, Marriott, Barclays. In 2012, it launched the iconic Hello Tomorrow campaign, branding itself not just as a way to fly, but as a connector of cultures, people, and ideas. And it always tied back to Dubai. Emirates didn't just promote itself, it promoted the city. And that synergy became one of its greatest hidden advantages. Dubai wanted to become a global destination. Emirates wanted to bring the world through it. So, they grew together. As Dubai built malls, business districts, mega hotels, and festivals, Emirates opened new routes to feed them with travelers. And as Emirates carried more people, Dubai responded with world-class infrastructure. Terminal 3, $4.5 billion. Concourse A, the world's first A380-only terminal. Al Maktoum expansion, projected at $33 billion. Technically, Emirates doesn't receive direct subsidies. But with unmatched access to infrastructure and an open-air policy, growth became exponentially easier. Today, aviation contributes approximately 27% to Dubai's GDP. Emirates supports 21% of UAE's aviation jobs. By 2025, that's expected to hit 32%. In other words, Emirates didn't just benefit from the city, it helped build it. No airline grows without turbulence. Emirates was tested again and again. The Gulf War, the 2008 financial crisis, oil price shocks, and of course, COVID-19. At one point, the entire fleet was almost completely grounded. But Emirates didn't retreat. It pivoted. It turned to cargo. Emirates Sky Cargo became the airline's lifeline, generating over 60% of total revenue during the pandemic. They even converted passenger cabins into makeshift cargo holds. Dubai reopened fast. Emirates adapted faster. And when travel demand returned, Emirates was already in the air. In 2024, it reported its highest ever profit, $5.1 billion. That resilience wasn't luck. It was the byproduct of smart decisions made years earlier. Lean cost structure, simplified fleet, long-term planning, a masterclass in future-proofing. So, how did Emirates become one of the world's most powerful airlines? It started with a problem, solved it with strategy, scaled it with precision, and branded it with ambition. In the process, it turned a desert city into a global aviation powerhouse. It challenged aviation norms. It redefined long-haul travel. And it proved that even without a domestic market, you can still build an international empire. Today, Emirates continues to expand, modernize, and evolve. And while other airlines are still trying to figure out the future of global travel, Emirates had already redesigned the map.